If you've been making any kind of content for any stretch of time, you're probably at least somewhat familiar with a certain feeling of what you can and cannot post, certain arbitrary limitations, if that makes sense. I've kind of had this feeling for a while myself, kind of in the realm of, you know, this is not good enough for me to post, or this idea isn't quite creative enough, or wouldn't have enough work put into it. This channel was originally meant for me to make like gameplay compilation videos and video essays, of which I've probably fucking drafted 50 million of those and then like half made them and then never released them. Cheng video still pending, by the way. A lot of the time, you know, when there's like a good reason for that, it's because there's like paying customers, like on your Patreon or something, watching your content, or you are sworn specifically to be part of one aesthetic, or something like that, right? And for a while, I had this arbitrary idea, that's my new word of the day, by the way, arbitrary, that I kind of had to follow a particular pattern, like I said, gameplay compilations and video essays. And I came to this kind of realization the other day, is that I don't have any of those limitations. This channel always was and always will be like a passion project. I have no fan base, bro. I got like 10 views on my last video. Nobody's watching this shit, it's just me. So realistically, the only person I have to please is myself. I mean, I've had so many video ideas and things like that over the years I've scrapped or put to the wayside because, you know, I can't release them yet because I need a bigger audience, or they wouldn't fit with the aesthetic of my channel, or whatever the fuck. And it's like, dude, no one gives a fuck. No one cares. The whole point of the channel was for me to make things that I'd enjoy making and have fun doing it, you know? Something I could look back on at the end of the day and be kind of proud of and enjoy the creative process of, regardless of what it is. And this whole time, I've been kind of limiting myself to adhere to the expectations of people who don't even exist. And the messed up part is, there's even more people out there who are way more talented and creative than me doing the exact same thing. So, to make a long story short, from here on in, I'm just gonna make whatever the hell I feel like, and if I like it, if I think it's polished enough and good enough to my standards to release, it's getting released! Besides, man, I have probably hundreds of hours of background footage from years ago, and I see 0 point in letting that go to waste. Yeah, TLDR, from here on in, I'll make whatever the hell I want, whatever I feel like making. Shit, I could just make a whole video rambling about random bullshit if I want to. Hey, wait a minute, is that a transition?
It's sucking at his neck, he gon' meet that fucking
So, first order of business. I don't really know how to start these out, so I'll just say what's on my mind right this very second. I just so happen to be part of a group that, historically, the Church of Christ, and or most other churches, don't like that much. I'm a sinner, I'm a filthy little sinner, I'm gonna go to hell and get butt-fucked by Satan like Lil Nas X.
What? Little Nas? Little Nas, are you working on your raps?
Oh shit, no, wait, watch out, watch out, watch out!
So, with time, I've kind of grown to, not have the highest opinion of religion, or at least I did for a very long time. I kind of looked at them not in the nicest way, like a lot of other people like me kind of do. I was talking to a friend of mine who just so happened to be Christian once, and it kind of struck me. I didn't say it in the conversation at the time, because why the hell would you? But it struck me. Dude, I'm just like them. Like, in that way, I'm being no better than they are. Effectively, what I've been doing is judging an entire group of people based on a bad attribute that is a stereotype that some of them have. Objectively, that is racist, and not at all good. I had projected the same bullshit that innocent people of my subset, I suppose, were dealing with, onto innocent people of their subset, and that's not okay, not in the slightest, you know? That way, me and the people like me were being just as bad as the worst that they had to offer. These days, I don't really snide Christianity anymore. I mean, you know, I'll make jokes like I do for everything and everyone else, but I don't snide them the way they did, you know? If there's some bad actor online who represents that group, it doesn't represent that group. I'm not gonna say, typical Christian, like I fucking would before. I just kind of, you know, take it in stride. That's not a Christian insulting me, that's just an individual who happens to be Christian. And I think a lot more people kind of need to adopt that mindset. Christianity is no different from something like Islam, for example. You wouldn't see like a fucking bombing and think, oh, typical Islam. That's not right, you know what I mean? With that out of the way, and with a slight mic correction done, what else is there to talk about? Let's see. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna tell a story. That's genius. I'm gonna tell you a story. So presently, I work at a drugstore. It's where I've worked for the last couple of years. Hopefully I won't work there for long, because I'm looking for a proper job now that I'm at a university. But I work at a drugstore, which means you get all kinds of interesting people. A lot of old people, a lot of people who need their meds. I'm not smart enough to be a pharmacy tech, so I just kind of work at the front where people buy their fucking discount chips and shit like that. One day, a old lady walks in. You know, she's nice enough, I suppose, a little confused, but kind of comes with the territory when your brain is fucking fruit salad because you're 80, you know? With that in mind, though, she's an alright person, you know, she's sweet enough, she's a little bit confused, like I said, but she's cool, right? Now, she's going to pay, and I see something in the little slot where you put your picture, or your ID, or pictures of your family or something like that. You know, the little picture in the wallets, right? I see something in there, and it's nothing offensive, but it's certainly bizarre, and I think to myself, nah, there's no way I saw that. That's not right. I probably just missaw that or something, you know? And, my interest is piqued at this point. So, thankfully, she forgets her rewards card with my particular store, so she goes to open her wallet again. And I take another peek, and yep, sure enough, instead of a picture of her family or pet, or her identification, or something along those lines, she has a picture of a fucking glazed ham. So serious, man. A glazed ham. And you know what the most fucked up part is? I don't even think she took the picture. I'm like 99% sure that she found a stock image of a glazed ham, right? And she printed it out in the size of what you'd put in your wallet, and then she fucking put it in her wallet. She put the fucking picture of the glazed ham in her wallet. Let me find like a similar picture so I can kind of show you like a reference of what I'm looking at right now, right? Something like this, like almost exactly like this. In fact, it's been a while, so this could even just be the picture, and I'm misremembering. But it looked uncannily similar to this. And then she just took her fucking Advil and her glazed ham wallet, and she just left. And that's the last I've ever seen of her. She just never came back. Now that I think about it, in telling that story, I've been reminded of two other ones. This time both involving bikers. Story number one involves a actual goddamn 1%er white supremacist biker, as in a biker in a biker gang? Sorry, a outlaw 1%er club. They tend to be very sensitive about that distinction. And story number two involves a biker who really wishes that he was biker number one. So consider the following, right? I'm on till at my work one day, right? And this big guy, he's so tall. He looks like Dolph Lundgren if he was like way older and like a good amount skinnier. But he's way up there, right? And the first thing you notice about this guy, as soon as he pulls up to the counter, he is like covered in leather. Leather jacket, leather pants, big leather boots with fucking spikes on them. Like this guy is like, he's clearly a big fan of dead cows. But the next thing you'll notice about this guy is that he's not making an attempt to look like a biker, but he just does anyways, right? So he doesn't have like the long, scraggly, like Germa Bia GTA 4 guy beard or anything like that. He's completely clean cut, and I mean clean cut. It looked like there was no hair growing there to begin with, no stubble or like anything there at all. And his hair wasn't like, you know, styled up or anything like that, but it was clearly taken care of. He'd like cut it recently and cut it to look clean and civilized. After that, you'll notice the big 1% patch he has proudly displayed on his riding jacket, which can only mean good things from here on in. And if it couldn't get any better, you'll then notice all the iron crosses and SS skulls and other Nazi paraphernalia all over his goddamn jacket. Side note, I like the fact that the Angels of Death in GTA 4 are canonically like white supremacists, but you can just buy their merch and wear it and represent them in GTA Online. I think that's really cool. And sidetracked here. The guy walks up to the counter, right? and he puts down a goddamn Twix bar. He puts down a Twix bar, and he smiles at me, and he just buys the Twix bar. And it's so fucked up, because he's, like, so nice and polite. I'm pretty sure he was, like, the most polite customer I had that whole day. And that's, like, really screwed up, because, like, in any other context, the guy would actually murder me. That's crazy to think about, right? And he said thank you, and he gave me a little smile. And then Mr. Gangland criminal fucking white supremacist guy just turned around with his Twix bar and left. I mean, shit, man. I guess they're right. You're not yourself when you're hungry.
Because you get a little bit whiny when you're hungry. Better?
Better.
Hey! My back hurts!
We have a bit of a dichotomy between this gentleman and the next gentleman we'll be talking about, Mr. Biker number 2. Whereas the other guy was tall, and he was thin, but muscular, this guy had no muscle on him from the looks of it, and he was short, and he was fat. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because I've already mentioned him, he looked very similar, like uncannily similar, to the Germa GTA 4 Buah guy. Okay, the video is dragging on a little bit here, so I'll keep it short, right? This guy was clearly trying to look like a biker, right? He had all the hallmarks, man. I already showed you the reference image of, like, the GTA 4 biker guy, but he looked very similar to... He had, like, a leather jacket on, but it had no patches whatsoever. I'm not just talking, like, a lack of club patches. I mean, he had no patches at all, of anything. So in other words, this is your typical obese midlife crisis fucking leather monkey riding on a hog trying their best to cosplay that they're in the HA. First, this gentleman is very polite as well, because I'm very polite. You know, I give him the typical customer service like, "Hello, sir, how's your day going so far?" Blah, 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 right? And he's buying candy, similarly to the last guy, although in much larger amounts, considering his portly frame. Anyways, like I said, at first this guy's being very, very polite, but then about halfway through the transaction, he realizes that he's not being a big, scary biker enough. So he stops smiling, he stops being polite, and he starts giving me, like, groans and one-word answers, like, "Thanks, have a good day." Fucking, like, shit like that. Because he realized he's not playing his fucking bullshit character of a big, scary biker enough. I don't know. It's just funny to me that this guy was so insecure that he had to stop being polite because he wasn't hitting his own fucking mental asshole biker toughness quota. It's funny to me, you know?
Purple. Purple. Purple.